I'm at the Australian Automotive Research Centre. Now we have 3 brand new off-road vans from Masterpiece Caravans coming down here this morning. It's cold, it's foggy, and it's quite eerie out on the roads. Now some manufacturers talk the talk when it comes to their off-road caravans, but Masterpiece, well, they want to walk the walk. And what better place to do that than the Australian Automotive Research Centre? This is the premier destination in Australia to test out new off-road equipment and off-road vehicles. Now Masterpiece Caravans takes a lot of pride in the vans that they build. There's a lot of amazing off-road obstacles here. So we're just waiting for these 3 awesome Masterpiece Caravans to appear through that fog, and then we'll get into it. As I mentioned, we are at the Australian Automotive Research Centre, and I have Ramon, the owner and director of Masterpiece Caravans, and Bobby, the general manager. And we have these fantastic Masterpiece Caravans behind me, and look, how amazing did they look coming through that fog. We have the Masterpiece Performance Full Off-Road, the Masterpiece Optimum Extreme Off-Road, and finally the single axle Masterpiece XTM Full Off-Road Caravan. Now, not a lot of caravan manufacturers will put their money where their mouths are when it comes to testing their off-road products, so tell you what, you've got to give these guys some credit for that. All right, Bobby, we've got some serious off-road obstacles to work with. Mate, what's the order of the day?
Mate, it's the day of reckoning. It's arrived. We've been waiting for this day for a long time. The research and development that went into it through Ramon and his engineering background to fine-tune these 3 magnificent vans we've got here today. We cover all aspects, the single axle, the performance full off-road and the Optimum extreme off-road. We've got a few tricks up our sleeve. We've listened to the consumers. We know where they go. We know what they're doing with the vans. Now it's time to give them a little bit of an extra hiding, and let's see how we go today.
Bobby says that today's all about giving the caravans a hiding, Ramon. Now these caravans have received some updates.
We've got the TerraGlide suspension, which is one of the most innovative suspension that ever been done in Australia. This is the best suspension you can ever put underneath of any caravans. We've got the new electric system, the new look, and the most important things about today, we're here to have fun testing these vans.
So today's about the TerraGlide suspension system. It's about the build quality of the Masterpiece Caravans. What can you tell me about the way you build the caravan?
Well, we're very innovative in the way that we build the caravans. We use product that's no other caravan company that use. We actually work very closely with our European partner to make this product to come to life, like our fibroplast material for the framing, our German flooring, and our air cells insulation. So the way that we build the caravans and put it together, it's a bit different than the rest. And the most important thing, we're not a sausage manufacturer. We just build the part a week so we can give the best quality that we can ever produce to the consumer.
So Bobby, tell us about the tandem axle performance full off-road.
The performance full off-road caravan is designed for long-term luxury touring. Has all the tricks that you need to keep you self-sufficient. It's got the Victron system with an inverter, 300 amp of lithium batteries, plenty of solar, of course the TerraGlide suspension. So all the tricks to keep you off-road, sustainable for a long period of time and not be worried about, can I go down here, what should I do over here? You're comfortable, you know it's going to make it, and you know it's going to do the right thing for your travels.
Now the Optimum Extreme Off-Road, I gather, is one of your best-selling caravans.
The Optimum is an upgrade from the Performance. So if the Performance was going to take you anywhere, the Optimum's going to take you everywhere. So this has got more lithium, more solar, bigger inverter, more water tanks, a truss chassis, airbag suspension, gas heaters. The list goes on and on. This is your ultimate off-road touring beast, fitted off with every conceivable extra you can imagine. The only thing we can add to this van is a bike rack, really.
And lastly, what about the XTM full off-roader?
The XTM is a bit of a mashup of the Performance and the Optimum. We take all the good bits and put it in a compact single axle version to go exactly where the other two are going to go, just in a more lightweight, compact version.
Now, Ramon mentioned the fibroplast construction method. What can you tell me about fibroplast?
The whole concept's called Art-Tech construction. It's a pretty unique method. That's what the vans are branded as, built with Art-Tech construction, and that's the three components we discussed: the fibroplast, the one-piece floor, and the air cell insulation. The fibroplast is a direct replacement for Meranti timber. We all know the issues with Meranti. Yes, it's strong, but once it gets water ingress and it rots, now you've got a Caravan that's in a world of hurt. The Fibroplast has zero water ingress properties. Its polyurethane and fiberglass components give it the strength, the zero water ingress and fantastic thermal properties, not transferring hot and cold in and out of your Caravan, doesn't matter where you are.
And is there also a weight saving with the Fibroplast compared to Meranti timber?
Correct. So there's a 33% weight saving in the wall framing and the roof framing of the Caravan as opposed to a traditional Meranti frame.
How does the air cell insulation properties work?
So the air cell insulation allows us to completely cover the entire surface of the Caravan, allowing us to run our cabling over the top, which means there is zero loss of thermal properties. So the way that you regulate your temperature from inside is how it will sit. Unless you want to cool the van down or heat the van, the temperature inside the van will stay because there's nowhere for the temperature to escape. It can't go through the Fibroplast and it can't go through the air cell. So we give it a full 100% coverage and give it its best thermal rating, probably in the RV market.
So is the air cell, are they like pockets of air? Because I'm just thinking air in and of itself is a good insulator, trapped air?
Correct. So it's an aluminium skin on the outside and then it's the air pockets and then it's the aluminium skin on the inside bonding to the plywood, and there's a gap between the composite material and the air cell that's creating the air barrier, which is giving you that thermal property and the thermal barrier for the Caravan.
Okay, so guys, we'll jump into a four-wheel drive just so we can scope out the track, see what kind of terrain we have to work with. But first, rules are rules. High-vis vest, one for each of us, so that we're nice and safe. All right, let's jump into a car and get into it. Is there anything in particular that you want to find out about these Caravans today in terms of their performance?
We're really looking to see how the new TerraGlide suspension is going to perform and make sure there's not too much body roll and that the suspension is absorbing all the blows that the road's going to give to us. We wanted to make sure the vans are super stable, so we want people to have the confidence to go down these tracks and not know they're going to get into a spot of bother. If their car gets into a spot of bother, that's a different story, but make sure the van doesn't have anything happen to it.
And do you guys warrant your Caravans for full off-road use, you know, anywhere that four-wheel drive can go sort of thing?
Correct, but we do suggest you drive to the conditions as well. It doesn't mean because we warrant for full off-road that you should go out there and devastate the thing. You should still drive to the conditions with your tyre pressures and your speed limit and look after the asset, and the asset will look after you.
That's excellent advice. Well, there's a lot of fog around. Hopefully it lifts. It has a nice horror movie, eerie feel to it. All right.
I think Max to the left here has the water crossings that we're going to do. I can't wait to get through this part. It's about 500 mil deep today.
Oh, that's 500 mil deep because they can actually set the depth, I believe.
Correct.
Right. So, initial impressions, you think you'll get what you need here?
As you can see, stuff like this will be fantastic to prove in this suspension and see the articulation from it. We've got four-wheel drive track there, which is I would love to drive over it with the Caravan and see how it handles. I can't wait to jump in the driver's side and start driving these Caravans around these tracks.
Now, is this going to be too tight to hang a left here with the Caravans? I've got a feeling it's pretty tight. You might get the single axle around. What do you guys think?
I think we should be okay if we take it wide.
Yeah, okay.
There's a couple of places where there's low-lying branches, but I reckon we'll be all right.
Yeah, I think you just clear them. But just this section here has a few significant lumps and bumps.
Correct.
You know, you would need a fairly high ground clearance Caravan to even do this sort of a track.
We're just about to check the stone road on our left-hand side. I believe that will be fantastic for corrugation.
Yeah, this is a good road, Ramon. That's fun.
Will the van get up and over here, Ron?
Yes. No, we're not going to do it, guys.
Well, we can go around.
I can always go around, but I got up there earlier. I don't think we're going to do it, guys. Let's give it one more go. Right, here we go. No one to back away from the challenge. And I think the number one rule for today is to go slow.
100%.
Okay, guys, we've had a bit of a look at the track. I reckon we get the first one out there.
Let's give it a go.
Okay, so now that you've had a look at the track, Ramon, what do you think? You confident?
I think let's do it.
Ramon just wants to rip in. Bobby, what do you think?
Oh, I've heard this rip in before, so let's go. Let's see how we're going to go.
So the first one on the chopping block is the XDM full off-roader. It's towed by a Nissan Patrol. Who's driving?
Me?
All right, guys, I'm excited. Let's do it. Let's hit the tracks.
Let's do it.
We're rolling.
Round to the left. Okay, Okay, so Ramon, you see that big obstacle in front of us?
Yes.
Yeah, round to the left. Let's give it a crack. Yeah, you need a bit of speed. Yeah, the Caravan has no problem with this sort of terrain, does it?
Just take it easy.
Is that partly because it's a single axle, a bit more manoeuvrable and a bit more nimble?
No, it's balanced very well. The suspension is in the correct position, and the suspension is doing the work that it's meant to do. So when you put the combination together, you get this outcome that we're having right now, which is fantastic.
Here we go. You can feel the car slide a little bit.
Yes. Oh, well, let's go through this healthy.
Want to bottom out?
Nah.
This is pretty full on, isn't it?
How's the van going to go? Up and over.
Up and over, looking good. Bit of sliding, lovely.
Yep.
Well, that was a bit of a challenge.
Bit of fun.
Yeah. Lucky it's only 2.5 tons behind us.
How do you
Oh,
think
actually 2.7.
So we've got some heavier vans though to bring up here.
Yes.
So what sets the Terric Light apart? I mean, is it a trailing arm coil setup?
Yeah, so what it is a semi-trailing arm. So what we've done is angle the arm sort of across the vehicle and slightly up. So what it does is it gains camber as it goes through the articulation, and controls the toe as well. So it's moving through that motion.
Oh, okay. And are they actually adjustable?
The camber and toe?
Yeah.
Just a little bit to just fine tune it to the chassis. So you can do that. But what it does is actually gain a lot of camber just in its natural movement, as the wheel moves up, it's gaining camber every time. So as you roll the car around a corner, it's gaining camber, gaining toe to add to that stability. Yeah, and I think this is probably typical of a road that you might accidentally come across and you weren't really expecting it.
Yeah,
You just want to get 500 metres into the bush for that nice secluded campsite. And
Down
you
by
just
the beach
gotta-
somewhere.
Yeah, you just got to push through this little bit of rough terrain and get your van in.
That we're slipping and sliding on and we're not able to crest it. But we're giving it one more crack. And we're over. So a bit of diff lock, bit of momentum.
And a bit of stupidity.
And a bit of stupidity. Alright, so Ramon, how do you feel about doing this water crossing?
As you can see, that I'm excited. The adrenaline is kicked in.
Yeah.
The Caravan is handle it with ease. Car is doing it fantastic, so I can't wait to go across this water now.
Okay, so what's your plan? Are you just going to hit it full throttle or are you going to go nice and slow?
Nice and slow.
That
Just-
sounds like... Okay, here we go. Copy.
I reckon she did that with ease.
Yeah, no worries at all.
One more time.
Now we've got some heavier vans though to bring up here.
Yes,
They're not all going to be towed with this vehicle either.
all gonna be towed by this week.
They all are.
We don't
So
think
you're going to swap it over?
Yes.
No, I was thinking the same thing.
No, so we swap it. The other one's already missing.
Okay. But do you reckon you'll be okay getting those heavier vans up that slippery hill?
Yes.
Yeah, you think you'll do it, or you just keen to give it a crack anyway?
Oh, he will give it a crack anyway. What the worst can happen?
All right. Well, Ramon, that's the first Caravan done and dusted. What are your thoughts?
Magnificent.
You're pretty happy with the way it performed?
I'm so happy. I think what we have done to this Caravan today proved all our hard work and all the engineering that went into these vans, and the credit to my team. They're working very hard to build one of the best quality off-road caravans in Australia. We want to make sure when you're going out and you're going to the Central Road or going up to Caviok or going through the Gibb River Road, these Caravans is going to come out the other side with flying colour.
Okay, so Ramon, we saw that the spare wheel on this van has bent upwards. We obviously made a bit of
Correct.
contact as we came up out of that water crossing. What are your thoughts?
I thought that we need to increase the height of the spare wheel by 4 inches. So we will be changing the brackets in all the models moving forward to be moved 4 inches higher to avoid this happening to customers that using the vans for what it's built for.
And I mean, that's the whole point of being here, isn't it? To work out what you need to change to make this an even better off-road caravan.
Correct. I think that Caravan, let me open it just and walk inside it first before I can say yay or nay.
So what are you thinking when you open the door?
I think everything will be intact.
Yep. All right, so we're back at base. I think it might be time to take out one of the other ones.
To finish the track, what a magnificent time
That
we
was
had.
brilliant, Ramon. Mate, you're not a bad driver.
I do my best.
Yeah?
That was good. How good was that?
We'll probably touch the spare wheel. Next time we need to make the bracket 4 inch higher and everything else it come out magnificent. Just gonna open the door and have a look inside the Caravans and we'll see how it holds up. As you can see, after an hour and a half of taking these Caravans around the tracks, corrugation, sand, mud, crossing water, and it stood to the test like a champion. The Caravans look magnificent.
How's it looking in there, Ramon?
Oh, let me tell you, it looks brand new inside, nothing to move, nothing happen inside these Caravans. We have done more than an hour and a half of flipping these Caravans apart, and look at stand in one piece.
Well guys, we've taken the XTM full off-roader out onto the testing track, and I mean, I think it's fair to say we're pretty happy with the way it performed. But now it's time to take the performance full off-road out onto the testing track. Ramon, what are your thoughts?
I can't wait. This is a tandem axle, not a single axle. It's a bigger van. I can't see not doing this challenge as good as the XTM done it.
Not quite as manoeuvrable as, you know, your typical single axle van. Any worries there?
Not at all. The single axle Terraglide performed magnificently. Now it's time for the dual axle Terraglide to show us what it can do.
Well guys, I think we just got to get into it.
Let's
We're
go.
ready.
Okay.
Let's go.
Rolling.
What's the rear overhang?
This is a little bit touch longer than the other one, but higher.
Okay, so the fact that it's longer but a little bit higher means that we still might scrape the...
Oh, we will.
We will?
All of them.
Yeah, okay.
Even the Optimum. Be ready.
So you're actually anticipating when we go through that water crossing, we climb out the other end?
No, we didn't hit it in the water crossing. We touched it in the water crossing, we hit it in that second tip.
Oh, okay. I thought it was when we came out of the water
No,
crossing.
second tip.
On the two mounds.
Yeah.
So Ramon, how much does a performance weigh?
This particular van behind us, it weighs just touch over 2.9 ton. It's got a DO35, so it's rated to 3.5 ton for most of the vehicle that's 3.5 ton towing. But it can be upgraded to 4.5 ton by changing the coupling in the front. Everything else is ready to go.
Oh, okay. So the suspension, everything else is rated to 4.5 ton, but you can have it at 3.5 ton if all you've got is a 200 series or something like that.
Correct.
But if you've got a Chef Silverado,
You can go 4.5 ton.
put on the DO45 and away you go.
Correct.
So we're going to go up and over this big mound. Let's have a look at the van.
done it with ease.
Well, I noticed it didn't rock side to side as much.
No, it's more solid because it's tandem axle, it's not a single.
Is that because there's more weight just sort of sitting on the springs?
Yeah, it's also just allowing those front and rear wheels to flex differently. So you should see it over these undulations coming up. It should be roll a little bit smoother.
So is it fair to say that the Terric likes that little extra weight?
It's probably not the weight, it's more about, I think, just load sharing between that front and rear axle.
Sure.
With the softer springs, it allows that articulation. So it doesn't tend to rock the van as much as a single axle.
How you going up there, Bobby?
Okay, I think the car's doing worse than the van. Even though the car's carrying 400 kilos.
That wasn't bad at all.
Smashed it, smashed it. Okay.
Gonna have fun this time.
Gonna have fun?
Yes,
Okay.
let's give it a full go.
What are your thoughts, Ramon?
That's magnificent. This is handling 10 times better with this car, being a tandem axle. The single axle is a lot easier for maneuver, but somehow this tandem axle is doing the magnificent.
Do you feel like it's a little bit smoother than the XTM?
A lot smoother than the XTM.
Okay.
Even it's a heavier van.
Because you've got the tandem axle?
It's a bigger van as well, but it's handling a lot better.
Alright, through the water.
And here we are. Yep, I put on the step a bit, just because it's a longer van.
Step.
Yeah,
Did you catch the step?
just I touched the step as I went through. Let's see here, just because the axle is far back compared to the other one. And let's see how we go here. Touch one more
Yeah.
time.
What was that? The rear?
With the front.
Was it the coupling or the...
Yeah, just like chain.
Bit of warning next time, Ramon.
That's right.
Go YouTube off. Bargain.
There we go, left. Down the bottom.
Bobby, what are you thinking?
I think it's handling really, really well. Amazingly well. It's all got to do with the center of gravity, the position of the axles, loading the van correctly. Once you tick all those boxes, the rest should take care of itself. Especially in the development of the Caravan suspension.
But that's kind of the art form though, isn't it, in terms of caravan manufacturing? Getting everything right and balanced to the point that the customer doesn't even notice.
Correct. It's a lot of work between Masterpiece Caravans, TerraGlide, Road King chassis, all our other suppliers that supply components that give us the weights of all the items, etc. And all together we got to piece the puzzle and A, make it work, B, make it balance, and C, make it safe to tow on the road. So it's a pretty big job, and you put a lot of components together to make it all turn into the Masterpiece Caravan that you see today.
I mean, there's a lot of engineering here that people just don't see.
Correct, there's engineering, and then there's the compliance of the gas compliance, electrical compliance, then we've got to meet ADRs, the new RAV rover system. There's so much that goes on that consumers don't see, so when they come and say, oh, can you add this, can you do that? You know, sometimes the answer is no, we can't. We've got to make sure that the end user is safe on the road, because if something goes wrong, not their name on the news, it's Masterpiece Caravan sticker all over the place. So we do this testing, we make sure the vans are doing fantastic, and then we have the confidence to let the consumer go out there and do their thing and know that they're backed by a 2-year general and 5-year structural warranty, and away they go.
And look, so far, I have to say these caravans are doing a bloody good job. I mean, this is serious off-road terrain. And the fact that really we've only bent a spare wheel bracket so far, I think that really says something about the strength of these caravans.
Yeah, we could have done like what most people do and just go on a dirt road and light a fire in front of the van and put a couple of kids around it and say this is what it's all about. We all get it, the Australian dream is travelling with your family, but I think what we're doing today is actually putting the van through some serious tests and putting it through its paces to see how it will react in those unfamiliar terrain or rougher terrain. So,
and as a general manager of Masterpiece, does that give you a bit of peace of mind to know that the caravans actually have been tested by yourself, so you know firsthand exactly what these caravans can do, which makes it sort of easier for you to communicate to your customers?
Correct. So it's very rare in the caravan caper that, you know, myself as the general manager and Ramon as the owner, we pretty much attend all the caravan shows too, so we get to see the consumer firsthand. We're doing a lot of the selling ourselves. We do a lot of factory tours, and this just, you know, cements all our thoughts and theories and the products that we design and engineer to build the van with the Artec construction. It's just amazing to see it all come together and come out on a day like this and walk out of here with a huge smile going, you know what, we actually did it and it actually works, and we have full confidence in letting the consumer go and do their bit as well.
But the fact that the vans is balanced very well, the axle in the correct position, we've got the right ball weight, the van it's 3.5 ton, and for some reason it handled very well. So it's a combination between how the van is built, how it's balanced, where is the position of the axle, and of course the TerraGlide as a suspension has done it in ease.
The TerraGlide suspension system seems to be just doing a fantastic job. Do you feel like you can just tackle some of these lumps and bumps a little bit more aggressively?
A lot more aggressively than the other suspension that I used to use. You know, we start our production from beginning of 2016. So we've been around for 8 years at the moment. We had a vision in the beginning to build a certain amount of caravans, and we're still following our vision because it's been working and it's working well. We don't build more than 5 a week, and it's been successful for us and for the customer getting a good quality caravan built correctly.
You know, Ramon, the thing that really impresses me is the fact that we took on almost every single obstacle on that track with the performance, and at no stage were we worried that the caravan wouldn't make it. We didn't have our hearts in our mouths, nothing like that. So you've got to be pretty happy.
I'm very proud of what we built. It is solid as a rock. You just treat it with respect. Do whatever you want to do with it. and will always follow you and take you to the places that other caravan will not take you.
Well, let's head back to the Linfox Centre. We'll hitch up the Optimum, and then we'll put that one through its paces and see how we go.
It's time to test the airbag suspension and show how good it is. The whole setup of the whole suspension, whether it's a spring or airbags, I'm very confident it's one of the best in the whole world, not just here in Australia.
All right, well, we're back here at the Linfox Centre. Bobby, Ramon, what do you think? That was fantastic.
I think we had a lot of fun. This magnificent caravan done it with ease. As you can see, we take it through its bases and it's proven it is a fully off-road caravan that you can take anywhere and everywhere and come back in one piece.
And Bobby, anything you would change about that caravan based on what we just did?
No, we're super excited. It's one of our most popular layouts, the right size 20-foot 6. So we're stoked that our highest performing, best-selling vans are being put through their paces, and they're doing a fantastic job and proving all our engineering correct.
And to me, that performance, full off-road caravan was just steady and sure-footed for the entire time. At no stage did I sort of look back and think, oh God, that caravan's looking a little bit dicey there.
It's very well balanced. The suspension did what it meant to do, and the caravan just done the track with ease.
What I reckon we should do now is get it unhitched, we'll put the Optimum on the back of the Patrol, and we'll have at it.
Let's give the airbags a go.
Let's go and do it.
Going to hitch up the Optimum Extreme Off-Road, and I know that the guys from Masterpiece are really keen to see how it performs, especially that airbag suspension setup. Look, it's time now to take out the Optimum Extreme Off-Road. Ramon, what are you looking for?
I can't wait to show you what this magnificent Optimum can do in the track.
And Bobby?
Well, we've done the single axle Terraglide, we've done the dual axle Terraglide, now it's time to test the premium off-roader. It's got a new truss chassis, it's sitting on airbag suspension. This is actually going to really excite us the most.
Any advantages to the airbag suspension for this particular track?
It should be giving us a softer ride, a lot more ground clearance. This is going to chew up the water, we're going to glide over the water, we're not going through the water this time. Can't wait to get down there and really rip it up.
Okay, well you've convinced me, I'm excited, let's go.
Let's go.
With Optimum in the back. Bags, set.
Terraglide airbag suspension, Ramon, does that come as standard?
It comes standard in the Optimum range. It's an optional in the Performance as well as the XTM. So the XTM and the Performance, they come with the coil version of the Terraglide.
But if I buy an XTM, I can option up the airbag suspension.
The airbag suspension, of course. The good about the airbag suspension, you can adjust the height of the caravans to the need. So if you're going through water, you can make it higher than the spring one. If you're going in the highway, you can lower it to lower the center of gravity, so you can go with this speed and not costing you too much diesel or petrol, depending about your car.
This is only 2 inch longer as a van and 200mm in the drawbar. So what's that? 250mm.
So Bobby, we've got the Optimum Extreme Off-Road on the back of the Patrol. Anything in particular that you're looking for as far as the airbags go?
Well, this is fitted with a 4.5 ton Terraglide Stage 3 wireless airbags. So now that we've done the normal suspension, now we want to see how the airbags react. Is it going to be softer? Is it going to be a nicer ride? Let's see how we go. And we're also giving the new truss chassis a go as well. So it's the first time Masterpiece Caravans has implemented a truss chassis. So together with Road King, Terraglide, Masterpiece Caravans, the truss chassis, the Terraglide suspension, and the Optimum Extreme Off-Road. Let's see how we go.
Does that truss chassis give the body a bit of extra height?
Yeah, it gives it a bit of a, extra height and ground clearance, and it also allows you to have a flat floor so you can muck around with the furniture inside the van and
You don't have wheel arches intruding.
Correct.
So you were saying that the Optimum Extreme is the best-selling Masterpiece. What do you put that down to?
I think we've fitted it out with all the bits that everyone wants. We're talking 600 amp of lithium, 880 watts of solar. It's got a gas heater, compressor fridge, instant hot water service, airbag suspension. The list goes on and on. Leather interior. So when you're looking at an off-road caravan and what it has to offer, it really ticks every single box that you require. And then it's, you know, little bits and pieces like I want a bike rack or I want shelves in my robes. These are only final touches, but as a complete package, value for money against our competitors, I think that the Optimum stands out head and shoulders above the rest for value for money, as well as buying from a boutique luxury off-road manufacturer. Ticks a lot of boxes for consumers, and that's why they gravitate towards our brand.
I can feel it straight away that the airbag suspension is giving the Caravan a lot softer ride.
Yep,
Yes,
heavier though.
of course it is when it's a lot heavier.
Give it some here.
So is there a big weight difference between the Optimum and the Performance, which was about 2,900 kilo?
About 100, 150 kegs.
Yep.
We put this down to the airbag suspension adds about 45, 50 kilos. 17-inch wheels as opposed to 16-inch on the others adds 50 kilos. So you're talking 100 kilos just in
in
wheels and suspension. So, but this is what's giving you that extra little bit of clearance / off-road capability to go that extra mile further.
And are you getting good feedback on the fiberglass system?
People love it. It's absolutely amazing product. It's different, it's unique. It's not an aluminium frame, it's not a sandwich panel, and it's not Meranti. So, you know, the story behind it's amazing, the technology behind it's amazing, and it just enhances the whole Masterpiece Caravan story and its uniqueness in the caravan market.
And Masterpiece is the only caravan manufacturer offering it in Australia.
Correct. So we have a worldwide patent towards the product. So we get it made in Europe, but it's designed and engineered here as well. So yeah, we have exclusive rights to the product. We're not ready to release it to the rest of the market just yet. We still think there's a little bit of more to go for Masterpiece to get the full benefits out of it, and maybe tweak it slightly and see if we can get it in a form that will, you know, be conducive to the rest of the market as well when we're ready to release it.
The Caravan really does feel pretty settled, doesn't it?
100%.
Through the water. Does that marker say about 400 mil?
What?
That was the rear bar.
Only once.
Sound control gives it that extra little bit of atmosphere.
Gives it a bit of guts.
Yeah.
A oomph. So you're taking this from a bit of an angle, you're going round.
Yeah, I'm going around here and I'm going to the four-wheel drive side and the other side. Just want to see the body roll and the angle all together.
Take a shortcut one,
An angle on that van, Ramon.
Yeah.
Which one are you doing? This one?
Oh, the part where there's no road.
Just
Easy, Tiger. Don't get too excited for you.
we're holding on for dear life back here.
Well, we are, but the Optimum's not.
Oh, look at that. Just roll from the right to the left, back to centre.
Where's the timber? Where's the timber?
The timber's over there. Maybe on left.
I think what you just did was way worse than the timber.
Timber's over there.
Chains.
So Bobby, you were saying that this Caravan is about 250 odd mil longer than the Performance.
Yep. So it's got an extended drawbar, so it's 500mm extension as opposed to 3, and this is a 20'8", not a 20'6".
One more lap to that.
How fast can you get it to safely?
80.
80?
Conservative 80.
I consider it.
The car will do 80, our heart rate will do 180.
Right, so Bobby, while Ramon gets it up to 60 along here, tell me, where did the Optimum come from? What's the sort of the origin story behind this van?
The Optimum was what launched Masterpiece Caravans into the off-road caravan market. So it was our flagship model from day one, and it was... 1 second while I gather my thoughts. It was the van that we said, you know what, we're going to go head to head with some of these big boys. It's not just going to be the big players in the Victorian manufacturing scene, but it was the big boys from Queensland too. The guys that, you know, have dominated that off-road landscape or the off-road market, that sell direct to the public up there in Queensland. So they're factory direct, the bigger players up that way.
So you've decided to take on some of these main players. You've come out with the Optimum, and you feel like it's been pretty successful for you.
It's been the staple of our business from day one, like I said. And you know, in 2022, the crowning glory was we actually won the Victorian Manufacturer of the Year award, which is a very prestigious award.
Yes.
For caravan manufacturing. But it was a bit of a build-up into getting that award. So we were a finalist 2 years in a row. We were actually runner-up twice, and then we finally won the award in 2022, and again in 2023 we're a finalist. So 4 years in a row we've been, you know, a nominated finalist, and 1 year, obviously in 2022, we won the Caravan Manufacturer of the Year award, which was prestigious, crowning glory for all our hard work, and just emphasize the fact that, you know, everything that we're pushing and advertising is you know, recognized by our peers and by the Caravan Association.
Then high now.
You can go 110 in low range.
Okay.
I did it the other day to check.
Leave it in
You can go 110 in low range.
Yep.
Okay, I'm just going to say that was probably the steepest gradient here. You had a crack, I didn't hear a single bang. End of the day though, you do want to test your products and know what they're capable of, so you do need to push the envelope just a little bit.
I want to try this too.
Sure, man.
So these twin mounds, Ramon,
Yes.
what are we thinking?
I'm thinking, I believe we will do it. We will do it easily.
You're going to hit the spare.
Yeah, I did hit the spare.
And bottomed out. Well, this is testing them on. This is what you wanted to do.
You know, having said that, that wasn't as disastrous as it might have been. Question without notice, mate. We've got the Optimum on the back at the moment, but which one has been your favourite to tow around this track?
The Optimum,
Yeah, I was going to say the same.
by far. The Optimum has been amazing on the track. Don't get me wrong, I love the XTM and the performance, but I believe the airbag suspension just to make it that bit easier going around in the track and articulation. So it's such a good suspension to have underneath of your Caravan.
So the TerraGlide airbag suspension, Ramon, does that come as standard?
It comes standard in the Optimum range. It's an optional in the performance as well as the XTM. So the XTM and the performance, they come with the coil version of the TerraGlide.
But if I buy an XTM, I can option up the airbag suspension.
The airbag suspension, of course. The good about the airbag suspension, you can adjust the height of the Caravan to the need. So if you're going through water, you can make it higher than the spring one. If you're going in the highway, you can lower it to lower the center of gravity, so you can go with this speed and not costing you too much diesel or petrol, depending about your car.
Well, after yet another successful test, Ramon, I guess it's time to pull in, get out and have a look around and see if there's any damage.
100%. I doubt there will be any damage in this Optimum at all.
No, I tend to think you're right. We know we did damage to the bracket on the spare wheel. We removed that,
Yes.
but I reckon the rest of the Caravan is going to be scratch free.
100%.
Ramon, well done, mate. This man can drive. And mate, Bobby, how do you feel about that?
Amazing, it was absolutely awesome.
That was a fantastic experience. Now, I thought that the Optimum was really sure-footed. It was well planted to the track. What did you think?
I thought it was amazing. I thought with the XTM, we kind of trying to feel our way around with the performance, we give it a little bit, and then the big fella in the last one, he said, you know what, we're going for broke here. And we didn't break it, but we gave it a good shakedown.
You got a little bit brave towards the end, didn't you, going down that steep incline?
Again, confident after a whole day of driving through the track.
Now, what do you think that you've learned from this experience that you could apply to the way you build your Caravan?
Well, just going through the ruts and the undulations, knowing that the clearances, you know, the spare wheel brackets that we bent on two of them, so we know we've got to make a little bit of adjustment there. But the rest of it handled extremely well. The vans are super well balanced. We've positioned the batteries, the tanks, everything's in the right places for us to be able to do what we're doing here. And that's thanks to all the engineering background that happens on a factory level, and then we bring it together here and then we whip them around, and the results are here to be seen, aren't they?
The main thing that I noticed was the spare wheel is a bit of a limiting factor in terms of your departure angle. You know, when you really want to drag it through a creek and there's a steep drop off or something like that. You talked about potentially lifting up that spare wheel a couple of inches.
Correct.
The Optimum though is already a little bit higher than the others, isn't it?
It is higher than the rest of them, but because I wanted to give it 110% in that track, I decided to take the spare wheel off this time.
And the idea being, without the spare wheel, you don't have that limiting factor so that you can really punish the Caravan. And then when you did, I did notice that that Caravan was just as sure-footed as a mountain goat. There was no bumps or clangs or anything like that. You must be pretty proud.
I am very proud of what we achieved, yes.
Like, you know, I think if I was in the market for a Caravan, after the experience that we had with those 3 vans out on the track, I would seriously have to consider a Masterpiece, because as we discovered, these Caravans just hang together in all sorts of conditions. We had 0 problems. At no stage during the testing of those 3 vans did I ever think to myself, oh God, you know, that Caravan's looking a little shaky or a little bit dicey back there. The Caravan would lean to the left, it would lean to the right, but it would come back to centre very quickly, very nicely. So as I said, you guys must be thrilled.
We're absolutely stoked. The testing went amazing. So we can't wait to see all our consumers out there on the back of this footage, on the back of this testing. We're an extremely strong brand. The vans speak for themselves. This video will show you all the footage you need to see, and we can't wait for you guys to view this video in its entirety and see what Masterpiece Caravans has to offer in 2024.
Now talk about a successful day. 3 Masterpiece Caravans absolutely punished at the Australian Automotive Research Centre. What a brilliant day, guys, and honestly 3 brilliant Caravans. Nothing left to do but to get these vans hitched up and get them back to Melbourne. So Ramon, thank you. Bobby.